Before starting this exercise, please get yourself into a comfortable position, which may be lying down or maybe sitting or maybe standing, whichever you prefer. And make sure that you are somewhere where you're unlikely to be disturbed or distracted so you can really focus your full attention on this exercise. Now, our minds are masterful storytellers, and they tell us stories all day long. And they particularly like to tell us stories about who we are and who we're not. So, the purpose of this exercise is to learn how to hold these stories more lightly, not get too caught up in them. Our stories, ideas, beliefs about who we are and what we can and can't do and what we're capable of can easily limit us and keep us stuck if we hold on too tightly to these stories. So the aim in this exercise is to learn how to hold them more gently, hold them more lightly, be more flexible in the way that we respond to these thoughts and these stories and these narratives and all the things our minds tell us about who we are. So take a moment, first of all, just to notice your body. Just notice where your arms and legs are. Notice where your hands are and what they're touching. And with real curiosity, take a moment just to notice what you can hear. Just take a moment also to notice what you can see, whether your eyes are open or closed right now. Notice what you can see. Breathe in the air and notice what you can smell. Notice what you can taste or get a sense of the sensations in your mouth, the warmth and the wetness. Notice what your mind is doing. Is it silent or is it chattering away? What's it talking about? Notice what you're feeling in your body. Do a quick scan from head to toe and just notice the different feelings that are showing up in your body right now, particularly noticing any areas of tightness or tension. Notice what you're doing. So there is a part of you that notices everything. There is a part of you that can notice everything that you see, hear, touch, taste, smell, think, feel, or do in any moment. And this part of you is what I like to call the observing self, and you can call it anything you want. And in this exercise, you're going to use this observing self to take a step back and notice the stories that your mind tells you about who you are. And see if you can hold those stories a bit more flexibly. Don't hold on to them so tightly.
Whenever you're ready.
So let's begin by taking a look at how you see yourself in the role of work. Maybe you do paid work, you have a paid job. Maybe you do voluntary work. Maybe your work is more that of a parent or of a caregiver. Whatever you consider to be a work role, let's take a look at you in that role. I'm going to call it your working self. So bring to mind an image or a memory that represents your working self, you doing the work that you do. And make that image or memory as vivid as you can. See if you can actually picture yourself in this role, being the professional or the parent or whatever it is you do as work. Make it as vivid as possible. Get a real sense of yourself working, your working self. Now, take a step back and notice what this actually is. What is showing up for you right now is a construction of images and words and memories, a narrative or story about who you are in that role. There may be judgments, positive judgments or negative judgments. There may be feelings. And all of this is a story about who you are in that role as a worker. Now, take a step back and notice the words and the pictures and the feelings that comprise that story. There goes the story, there goes your working self, your image or self-image of who you are in that role. And there's a part of you noticing. There's a part of you noticing those words and those images and those pictures. There's a part of you noticing all the feelings that go with this. So if you can notice this working self, then you cannot be this working self. This working self is a part of you, but there's much more to you than this. There's much more to you than these words and pictures and memories and images. So take a moment just to notice the words and the pictures and the images and the stories. And see if you can, just for a moment, loosen your attachment to this story. See if you can let your working self just kind of float off or drift off or fade away. It won't go away for very long. It'll soon come back. But just see if for a few moments, if you can just kind of let it float or drift or fade away or drift off into the background. Yeah, this working self is a part of you, but there's much more to you than this. Now bring to mind a different aspect of life. Bring to mind something that you are struggling with, something you find very painful or problematic, and bring to mind an image or memory that represents your struggling self, an image or memory that represents you really struggling with or suffering from something very painful and difficult in your life right now. And make that image or memory or story as vivid as you can. See if you can get a real sense of yourself suffering and struggling. A strong image that you can see and sense of you struggling. And I'm going to call this your struggling self. Now, use that observing self part of you to take a step back and notice this struggling self. Notice what it is. It's comprised of pictures, words, sounds, thoughts, beliefs, feelings, all showing up right here, right now. And there's a part of you that can step back and notice all of those thoughts and beliefs and ideas and images and memories. So if you can notice this struggling self, you cannot be this struggling self. This struggling self is a part of you or an aspect of you, but there's much more to you than this. So knowing that this is not the essence or the whole of who you are, see if you can, just for a few moments, let it float away, drift away, fade away. See if you can just let go of holding on to it. If it floats away, don't worry, it'll come back pretty soon. But just for a few moments, see if you can loosen up your grip. Just let it kind of float off, drift off, fade off. This is a part of you, but there's much more to you than this struggling self. Now bring to mind an image or memory that represents your strong self. Whatever you consider to be a personal strength, bring to mind an image or a memory that represents you embodying that strength, you being strong in some way. And just for a few moments, get very absorbed in that image or memory. This is your strong self. This is you being strong. Notice what that's like. Here you are being strong. This is your strong self. And now take a step back and notice what this strong self is. Notice that it's a construction of thoughts and images and ideas and beliefs and memories, probably all sorts of feelings that go with it. take a step back and notice the various thoughts and feelings that comprise this sense of your strong self. There is your strong self, all the thoughts, beliefs, ideas, memories, images, and there's a part of you noticing. It's a part of you that's able to step back and notice this strong self. So if you can notice this strong self, you cannot be this strong self. This strong self is a part of you, but it's not the whole of you. There's much more to you than this strong self. So recognizing that it is not the essence or the whole of who you are, see if you can just for a few moments let this strong self float away, fade away, drift away. Just let it drift off into the background. Don't worry, it will come back very soon, but just for a few moments, see if you can let it fade away, drift away, or float away. There's much more to you than this strong self. Now, we're coming to the end of the exercise, but take a moment to recognize this exercise could go on for hours and hours, days and days. I could get you to bring to mind an infinite number of different selves, a kind self and a cruel self, a boring self and an interesting self, a happy self and a sad self. We could go on all day long. And none of these selves would be the essence or the whole of who you are. And all of these selves would be constructions of words and ideas and beliefs and memories and imagery and all the thoughts and feelings that go with them. All of these would be a part of you, but none of them would be the whole of you. There's so much more to you than these thoughts and feelings and these ideas of who you are. So take a moment now to come back to this part of you that observes, this part of you that notices. All day long, your beliefs and ideas about who you are will change. All day long, the roles that you're in will change. All day long, the many different selves of you will change. And this part of you will always be there to notice those changing selves coming and going. It's always there, available for you any time, a safe place inside you, a safe perspective from which to step back, a source of engagement with the world inside and the world outside. So, bringing this exercise to an end, coming back to the room, moving your arms and legs, straightening your back, coming back into your body, opening your eyes and ears, looking around, noticing what you can see and hear, touch and taste and smell. And see if you can now go into your day, holding your self-stories lightly, not getting too caught up in the stories about who you are and what you can and can't do.